Hi everyone, welcome to Comic Essay. Today we're doing our review on Justice League Rebirth, the regroup issue, which is issue 14. So let's just kickstart, let's just get right into it. So we see that this huge planet-like machine sort of thing is basically hovering over the world. Alright, we see the rest of the world looking at it, and once again we look at the Justice League springing into action, flying up and trying to tackle this thing. But at the end of the day, we see that this thing its power is just too much, and this is a really important point that I will continue emphasizing throughout the comic. But basically, it shoots this huge beam of light, alright, this huge beam of energy, knocks everyone in the Justice League. We see that Jessica Cruz is the only person, like, she basically steps in front of everyone to make a construct, but it still wipes everyone clean, alright. We see there's this huge crater created in the on the Earth, and we see the Justice League has been shot right through this crater into the Earth. Now they're all underground and they're all unconscious, alright. We see Wonder Woman, Jessica Cruz, who are awake. We see Cyborg is basically coming to, and we have this funny moment even where Cyborg is busy screaming out, "Superman, Clark, can you hear me?" We see this huge boulder get moved, and Superman comes out saying, "I have super hearing, like, of course I can hear you." So we see that he finally gets up. We see Batman, he's there, he's alright. Jessica is basically using her Green Lantern ring to keep the rock from crashing down upon them. And we're looking at Aquaman, he's now coming to as well. And basically everyone's just talking about, wow, that was such a huge, immense bit of power, it really knocked us back. We see that Cyborg is even he's giving some details, and this is what I really like about Cyborg's character. Excuse me, just like that, with him introduced into the Justice League, he's just such a critical person to keep in mind. I mean, if you look at the whole Justice League so far, without Cyborg to analyze, if it wasn't Cyborg with Eclipso, if it wasn't Cyborg in the beginning of the Justice League with the when they were busy going up against, if I can remember now, the Kindred. Yes, it was the Kindred. So they were going up against the Kindred. They were going up against, I mean, Cyborg just is, for me, he's just number one. He really is just number one. So, and here he is, he's busy saying, "Listen guys, we're beneath the rock in Canada." And we're some kilometers down, basically. And then Aquaman is busy giving his status report. He's like, that blast really, it really hurt, it really burned, right? And he's like, he's just saying, like, I don't think we could withstand another attack like that, prolonged, and so on. And he basically mentions, even with strength and invulnerability, like a power attack like that is crazy, We see this sweet moment between Barry and Jessica, where she's busy touching Barry's face, and the chemistry between these two is kind of interesting, especially if you're reading the Flash comics. You're kind of wondering, like, yo, Barry, he could be kind of a player, because well, basically, yeah, you'll just see there are two women in Barry's life right now. So we see that there's a sweet moment where Jessica's asking Barry if he's hurt, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm alright." And we see that Batman starts explaining, he starts explaining that, shucks, now that we're here, we are basically the first responders. If we got knocked back so hard, we all know that if we, like, can't deal with this issue, the world is just going to basically do its own thing. It's going to try to defend itself as well, which it can't, and he knows they can't. They're going to shoot up nukes, and he's even makes this analogy, they could shoot up 1,000 nukes and nothing would even happen to such a destructive force. Alright, so then we carry on, and basically what we understand also from this thing is that this is basically a mining colony that they are fighting, right? It's a mining colony and they move from system to system, and they consume whole systems, all right? The moons, the planets, the asteroids, the sun, they consume this whole thing. And what's interesting to note is that this is a huge force that they are facing. It's a very huge force that they're facing, and the team is sort of shaken, if I can say that. I mean, then we get some amazing dialogue throughout this comic. I'm not going to say it has a lot of action, but the dialogue here is so crucial for me, especially as a reader. So we see once again Jessica, and I say once again, sorry for the irritation, but she's always like, I'm not worthy of this ring, and so on. And at the same time, Simon Bass is coming back, to consciousness as well. He's been knocked out. The Flash is alright as well. And Jessica's she starts with this tangent again, I'm not really cut out for this ring thing, for this Justice League thing. Everyone is trying to help her and console her, like, listen, it's like you're meant for it. You fit in, alright? We're all a bunch of bandits, we're all a bunch of rogues. We all fit outside the status quo, like, you're meant for this ring, And we see this really cool thing. So with Superman, he comes in and he says, listen, even in my time, we had Hal, we had Kyle, we had John, even Guy, all great lanterns in their own way, So he's trying to say, like, each lantern has something to contribute, And Wonder Woman states here that, yes, the League needs a Green Lantern. We see that Simon Bass even says, listen, like, I tell my ring what to do, So the constructs, yes, they come, but you have an emotional connection to your ring, Jessica. That's what makes it so powerful, is that your depth is deeper, in which you can reach out huge amounts of power. And then we see Cyborg, and Cyborg comes off like legit. This has to be this has to be really funny for me. So he's saying, he's busy telling, like, do you think, like, I belonged here first? I met these guys, none of us belonged here, we all had to learn, And Simon's like, yeah, but Cyborg shuts him up. He's like, basically, he's just like, shut up and listen to what I'm saying. All right, he says, even when Hal was leaving, we trusted Hal, so when Hal Jordan said, these are my replacements, we trust Hal's decision in doing this, And just as, like, they even talking, Simon and Jessica are busy talking, like, yeah, we even need each other because we use the same, not one of us can leave, we need the same lantern, But that's all part of the thing, I think what's part of this is that, that's how you guys are just better together. You're not better separate, it doesn't make you less of Green Lanterns. You can topple most Green Lanterns if you work together. And we also see that Batman, okay, so anyway, Aquaman gets into this before I even get to Batman. So Aquaman basically gets into this, and he's like, let's not ignore that there's a huge, and he puts it there, there's a big blue red elephant in the room, and we all know they're talking about Superman. This is not the Superman of the New 52, this is the pre-New 52 Superman. And we see that even Aquaman, he goes here and he states, about Batman. Now we're getting to Batman. He's just like, the only reason you're here and we're accepting you in the team is because Batman wants to keep an eye on you. He wants to figure out why you're here and what does it have to do with the death of our Superman, and he doesn't think it's coincidence that you're here, and neither do I. Aquaman's agreeing, and Superman. And then Superman goes and says, Batman once told me the only way to find truth was to question everything. And Batman quickly remarks, like, I told my Superman that, not you. And Superman just, now he's laying down the foundation. It's like, really, like, well, listen, you have to stop. He basically goes on tangents, like, you have to stop thinking of me as a different Superman. We're the same Superman, we just live different lives, We didn't, and then he mentions the relationship about him and Batman as well. He's talking about how, yes, Batman, yes, like, you didn't trust, when I met my Batman, we didn't trust each other in the beginning, but it was just like that, and he goes off on a tangent as well, and he says, guys, Batman doesn't even trust any one of you. He says, like, he has plans to execute each and every single one of us if ever we go bad. Everyone is sort of shocked, like, Batman, how can you do this, why? But we've already seen this in pre-New 52 with the Justice League. They've already addressed this, actually. So we're seeing a whole new team address this again in a different way, different scenery, but exactly the same way. We're seeing that the whole team is like, really, why would you do that? I thought we're all friends. And Batman just goes ahead and lays it out plainly, and Superman encourages him, like, tell them why you don't trust all of us. And he's like, listen, listen, we're with an Amazon princess empowered by gods, all right? Kids infused with tech from Apocalypse, you know, the king of the largest nation on the planet, and a man who can move so fast nobody would ever see him coming. All right, and then he goes and he points like, that's Superman. Now we have Superman. All right, which one of us could even stop us if he wanted to destroy us, you know? So basically he says, listen, I'm just a guy, all right, with no gifts, no powers, no gods, all right, just my wits to beat you guys. All right, and you know, they're questioning like, where's this information, is it safe? And Batman's like, listen, it's secure, it doesn't even really matter, all right? At the end of the day, like, the information is secure or whatever. And then Batman says, like, this is how it has to be, all right? You can't know, it's the only way we may, like, these are countermeasures. If you knew what the countermeasures were, then they would make no sense anyway. And then basically, yeah, we get back to Superman, all right? And Superman says that, listen, because Barry actually asked him, what was it like before, you know, with the League, you know? And this is what's so cool. Superman comes in straight and like, listen, we had a different name, same thing, you know. It seems like a lifetime ago. And he goes ahead and he says, listen, I've seen what all of you can do, and I've watched you all take on everything that came at you, all right? And he said, like, you did a really amazing job, all right? We're all outsiders in one way or another, but I've always felt like this was a place like people could be together, all right? Look out for each other, spend time with each other, just like today with Jessica, when she, obviously we mentioned in the beginning, she stepped in front, put up a construct to protect Simon and to protect all of us, you know? And they basically come to consoling. It's like, yes, we're partners, and so on and so on and so on. And Simon's like, yeah, I'm feeling better, let me help you with this construct that you're using to keep the rubble off our heads. And we get to Wonder Woman real quick, and she says plainly, listen, we can't keep up doing this, all right? We're together, but we don't trust each other. We're together, but we are divided. We're not working together as a team and as a unit. And basically Superman goes forward and he says, listen, we're a unit, yes, all right? You have to think of me as the same Superman. We're the same Superman. We live different lives, and just different things have happened, all right? But and then we get into this consoling movement where everyone is just coming up with this plan. Like, this is what Batman's like, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do to combat this planet. We're gonna go in it together. We're all gonna support each other. War. It's all great and hunky-dory and dandy. It's nice. We even see a cute moment where Simon Bass is like, there's a Christmas party, and is there a Christmas party? And Barry Allen's like, yeah, and Batman tells all the jokes. So we see basically the Justice League come together, come with this plan, you know, to combat this plan, really looking more like a unit, less individuality, and we see less of a split between Superman and the rest of the League, especially Batman. You know, so and then we're all like, okay, yeah, I think we're ready, let's go do this. And we see this nice beautiful ending with the Justice League flying off and this mining colony basically destroyed. And for me, guys, this was a great time. I needed this comic because, you know, we started the Rebirth, and yes, Rebirth is well written, and I really like Rebirth, you know, and compared to the New 52, but I'm really liking how this Justice League is really coming together. We see, yes, they took on Darkseid, but this is a very new Justice League. We see that they're still coming together, and thankfully they have the pre-New 52 Superman, who I think gives a lot of wisdom and guidance and years on him. So this is really, I think we're doing really amazing with this Justice League comics. I think I can't go back. I can't say no. Like, really, the whole of Rebirth just in a whole has been amazing. So yeah, and I think yeah, that's it for now. Please continue to like and subscribe. If you have questions, if you want to give me added stuff that you think I should be reviewing or looking at, please swing them my way. As I always will say, like, I love learning, I love knowing more. Alright, and yeah, have a great day, guys. God bless. Cheers.